Welcome to our very first gear tour of the 2019 season. This is something brand new we're going to bring in. Josh Rojas joining us today. Super utility man. We're going to go through his gloves, go through his bats. All right, let's get to the good stuff now. Let's start with your infielder's glove over here. You can grab it, show us kind of what you got going on, why you chose that model with Wilson.
Yeah, so this is the 1787. Last year I used a Dustin Pedroia. This is actually pretty similar. Yeah, so this is my go-to. It's 11.5. I actually went up 0.25. I used
That's bigger than the DP.
Yeah, so the Dustin Pedroia was 0.25, but I wanted a glove that I could also use at short and not have to change out a glove between second and short because they're so similar. The biggest thing is I want the pocket to be shallow, so it doesn't really matter the length, as long as I can keep the pocket shallow so I can go and get the ball out fast. A lot of guys will tell you, I mean, this is the biggest part about playing defense. If you don't feel comfortable catching the ball, that's one of the big things going into making plays.
All right, now let's move on. Third base over here.
We'll go third base.
All right, third base. Stay on the infield.
This is the David Wright model. So this is something new to me. I usually use the same glove for third base. This is actually a 12-inch. So it's a little bigger than I'm used to, but it's as you can see, it's kind of a skinnier. You can see it's skinnier down at the palm, and then it flares out towards the top, which I kind of like because when you flare it out towards the top, or when I flare it out towards the top, I kind of keep it wide, and everything kind of funnels back to the middle.
Exactly.
So I'm not really searching for the ball, even though it's bigger length and flares out more. I'm not really searching for the ball too much because it's kind of narrowed down at the bottom.
David Wright, good model there. Let's stick to let's wrap up the infield though. Let's go to your first base glove as well.
This was my first ever first baseman's glove that I purchased. I got this one because a teammate that I played with last year had this glove, and when I first started training at first base, this is what he had. So as you can see, I usually go, these are A2000s. These two right here are A2Ks. And if you don't know, A2Ks are a little harder to break in.
Exactly.
They come in really stiff. So I got this towards the end of last year, expecting I'd be able to use it in a couple days, couple weeks, like I can with the A2000s. But I was wrong. It took a couple months before I got it, but once they get broken in, they last a pretty long time.
Awesome. Let's wrap things up too with the outfield. This is a position for you that kind of comes and goes. You've seen a lot of the infield time, but how do you stay fresh with that one?
Yeah, so this one I really like. This is an A2000. This is 12.75. It's a bigger glove, which I like in the outfield. The biggest thing is I kind of like my outfielder's glove a little opposite than my infielder's glove. Infield I like pretty stiff. Outfield I like a little floppy. I never knew why that is. I just kind of like it. I guess you can feel it go into your glove when it's a little floppier. Same thing with the infield. I want it to cover as much ground as you can.
Exactly.
Just for those plays where you're diving at the fence or your full extension. Just plays where you're not going to really get to watch it go into your glove. You get a little more range.
Awesome. That's a look at the gloves. Let's move on over to the bats now. Over here to the bat rack now. Josh, you got two different bats here you want to show us, and also some of your gear. So, but first of all, specific spots here in the bat rack.
Yeah, so every dugout's different, but I have like a little superstition of mine is I want to put my bats in the cubby or the spot closest to home plate. Same with my helmet. So I'm always in the furthest left you can get, or if we're in the other side, it's the furthest right.
And then the bats here. You got a 33 model here showing us two different finishes.
Yeah, so I got a 33, 31 is what I swing, dovetail. I swing dovetail, I have a contract with them. And then the way I kind of work the bats throughout the day is I always bring out two bats. My first bat, this one has been my first bat lately. It's just the black matte handle with the shiny finish. Yasiel Puig model is my favorite. It's my model I swung the last 2 years.
Nice.
And I use it until I make 2 outs with it. So as soon as I make 2 outs with this one, this has been number 2 in the order. This is the same model, same length, just a different color scheme. And this bat goes number 2. Once this makes 2 outs, this one gets subbed in, and hopefully this one can find me a hit.
And we'll finish things up with the gloves and the gear that you got, and some of the armor you got going on.
Yeah,
Franklin's a great brand.
We got Franklin here. Also signed a contract with Franklin this year. One of my favorite batting gloves, so I was so excited that they want to do a deal this year. This right here, you can't go a season without one of these. This is the thumb guard right here. In case a pitcher eats you up a couple times, you still want to be able to swing the bat. This is my baby. Crucial to a season. This is the sliding pad, Evo Shield sliding pad. Save the wrist, long season, you don't want wrist injuries. And then last but not least is the Evo Shield. Being a left-handed hitter, my throwing arm is on my right side, And I've been hit there before without the Evo Shield, and it makes playing defense tough. So this is my baby right here. Can't hit without that.
So to wrap things up quickly, for those who don't know about kind of like what some call the oven mitt, that's the whole keep your wrist stable when you're diving in on a stolen base, right?
Right. So a lot of people, so the oven mitt's a little bit different. So I can show you this one. So this one, your fingers are still out. So this one protects the wrist. And usually it's because I go in hard with this hand, or when I slide feet first, this hand goes down on the ground. A lot of people you see nowadays have the oven mitt that covers the fingers. The reason why I don't like the oven mitt is because sliding head first, I want to be able to grab onto the bag, because you see sometimes when you slide into a bag and they come off, if you have the oven mitt, you can't really have a grip on the bag. I like to have a grip on the bag. Same thing coming in, if I'm going back into a base or if I'm hook sliding, I still want to be able to grab. It's a little dangerous with the fingers, but I want to be able to grab on the play.
Keeping the dexterity, keeping it going on.
Right.
Josh, really appreciate you taking the time, showing us all your gear, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's our first look at our gear tour here with the Corpus Christi Hooks. Stay tuned for more coverage on cchooks.com.